Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this special edition of Drive Time. We're coming to you live July 1st. Happy Canada's Day to all our Canadian friends, if there are any watching. But here we are. We are at the first of hit Scooter up there for us. So Scooter's going to be in and out. It's going to be fun for poor old Scooter here. So he's got to be coming live in and out as he's also working. We are here on our stage here. It is the start of NHL free agency. We have a lot of stuff to get to. Scooter, how's the business going today?
It's busy in there. It's like 100 degrees outside, but everyone's inside the air conditioning. I'm standing outside on the highway in the heat.
I don't know how long you're going to want to stand outside. That's for sure, because it's a nasty day out everywhere. So I hope everyone is staying cool wherever you are. This is going to be a fun show. I hope. I mean, look, there's what's out there in free agency. Who knows? We're going to see what happens. There's still a lot of good rumors going on. This is how we're going to do our reporting. If it's not said by Pierre LeBrun or Elliot Friedman, it doesn't count. I'm going to be pulling up TSN on my other computer here, and we'll be watching for the TSN official stuff as we get stuff in. We do also still have a lot of moves and stuff to talk about that happened from our last show on Monday to go over. So we'll start with that. And then as we see any news breaking in on trades, if you see something out there, feel free to throw it in the comments, and then we'll go from there too. And Scooter, I know you got to go in and out. So just whenever, give us a signal if you got to go back in, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna head back in right now. I'll be back. I'm waiting for the big Ovechkin news. It's coming. It's coming.
We'll see. On NHL Sirius Network, they were talking about that today. There's some people that aren't sure he's going back to Washington, so we'll see. I don't buy that, but I think that was just to make a little bit of fun for the news. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so get back in there. Come on up, join us whenever you can. Okay.
Okay, sure. I'll be keeping track of everything going on. Same as you, TSN. Hopefully everyone who's watching is going to go to TSN as well. It's great coverage right there.
Excellent. Sounds good for sure. So we appreciate your help on it. Go ahead and pull up Vic's comments there. All right.
Okay, guys. I'll see you soon.
All right. Vic checking in. Y'all going to have to be on till 5 to cover everything already. I know, but I've only got 2 hours. So we got a party to get ready for. Grandparents coming in, aunts and uncles coming in. So, yeah. So 2 hours is what you're going to get. So with that said, Showtime, how you doing?
I'm good. Got here 8:30 last night. So it's definitely been.
Give the shout out. She got me my Carolina Hurricanes championship swag, so we were good to go there. Pull him out for now. Just gonna remove him from the stage. All right, so here we go. So let's go ahead here, and then you'll probably slide over here and click on this to get this to move. Over here. Slide your. No. You got rid of that.
Oh my god.
Don't touch that there. Come, just keep sliding. No, don't touch that.
You do.
There you go. There we go. So did you know? Why is it doing that? There we go. I don't know what it's doing now. It's just going everywhere. Got to touch your remote. All right, so let's start with this. Edmonton hires Mike Babcock. This happened last week. He's 63. He hasn't coached since he resigned from Columbus after only 73 days for breaking players' privacy. He does have 700 wins in 17 seasons. He's won a cup in Detroit. Supposedly the big players in Edmonton are okay with this deal. I don't know that I agree with it or not, but we'll see how it goes. I'm guessing that his style isn't going to work with McDavid and Draisaitl. I don't think it's going to be a good long-time fit. But Sarah, do you have any thoughts on them hiring Babcock?
It fits the franchise, I fear. I don't have any good things to say about him person-wise.
Nor should you.
Yeah, right. I don't really know how much to say on him coach-wise. Again, like you said, apparently it's been discussed with the players already. They're okay with it, but we'll actually see how it fits in the full season, I fear.
I agree with that for sure. All right, so you guys are going to stay over here until we get it in. Where's your little mouse at? We had to, of course, my computer was not working with my internet, but hers was, so we take it and run with it, and we're making this work. All right, so the NHL is looking at expansion. Houston, do we have a team? There is a process that has begun for Houston and Austin. It's called the exploration phase. They will determine which market is best. But basically, this means that they have an owner in place. They're going to decide if it goes to Houston or Austin. We'll see which one ends up winning out on those bids. I don't have any preference of it. I think it's going to probably be Houston. I can't see them going to Austin over Houston. But we've been talking about expansion. I think there's going to probably then be another team. I don't think that they're just going to go with 33. They'll go up to 34. Do you agree? 50-50?
Yeah.
All right. The Penn sale is final. They sold to the Hoffman brothers from the Fenway Sports Group. The good news about this trade, if you're a Pens fan, is it does sound like they want to get Mario Lemieux back involved with the franchise. Anytime little Mario Lemieux is involved with the NHL, I view that as a good thing, right? You agree? All right. We're all in agreement there. This was kind of a little fun little note, and there's been more signings in this too, but Brent Burns is coming back along with Brett Kulak to Colorado. Burns, 41, he signs a one-year deal. He has a streak of 1,007 consecutive games played and now could beat the record held by Phil Kessel at 1,064. Kulak signs a 5-year deal. He came over from Pittsburgh last year, a solid 3-4D. There's plenty of other moves to get into, but I just had this one written down mostly for the Burns news. It does mean that he will be able to go for the Ironman streak in the NHL this year. Should get it unless he gets injured, of course. And there you have it. Are you happy for Brett that he'll get the record?
I hope he does. I think it will.
You should, but you never know with injuries. So, all right. So that's some of the news that happened from last week. So if you remember, we started this out before, and honestly, I didn't have time, or else we should add another name in here. But the ones that are crossed on the red, these are guys that have been traded this week. We're going to get into some of these. Of course, Brady Tkachuk was from the show before. We need to add another name for Columbus with good old Zach Werenski. He has now demanded a trade out of Columbus. So allegedly, there was a deal in place with Dallas that he said no to. We don't know what the details of that Dallas deal was. Dallas just made a deal earlier today. We'll get into that here in a little bit here too. But this is the list, and this list has been kind of stagnant. There's a lot of talk still going on for some of these names. Hellebuyck has been rumored at Buffalo, but I don't know if Buffalo has the pieces quite in place. Carolina's name has come up with Hellebuyck. Of course, Robertson had a deal in place with Seattle. He refused that deal with Seattle. Supposedly there was another team that he refused to. So it's going to be interesting to see how that whole plays out. We had Aiden Hill on here. I think with Vegas's other goalie move that we got into, I think Aiden Hill's probably safe in Vegas now. Nico Hischier seems like he's going to be signing a deal with New Jersey, so that needs to come off. Kokiemi for Carolina. Rumor was that they've been offered a second and third round pick for him during the draft, but Carolina has said no. I think they like the idea of having somebody that knows the system on the roster, especially with Seth Jarvis's news that he is going to be out for surgery. Dylan Larkin, that one's going to be interesting because it seems like Detroit seems to not want to trade him. And I don't know how that's all going to play out because there's only a few teams that he wants to go to. Yzerman has said no about those teams, so unless he expands his list. So we're going to have to watch that one. That one could get ugly real quick. Any of these names on here, Sarah, that you want to chit-chat about?
I kind of don't want KK to keep on our team, but I guess I get it with the injury of Seth Jarvis. But, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
It's all good. We'll figure out something.
Sunshine and rainbows.
That's right. All right, so let's get into some of these trades that happened here real quick while we wait for other news. This started, of course, on Tuesday, 6/23, which was a crazy day. This was the first big one. Nemec goes to Calgary for Maureen, and, of course, Ty Plasov goes also to Calgary, along with a host of picks. The big deal for this one, Nemec was supposed to be restricted free agent. He's only 22. He had a career high, 26 points, 68 games, was the number 2 pick in the 22 draft. He has 49 points in 155 games. Plakov is 27. He's just got 4 points, so he's kind of a minor throw-in. Morin is a really nice prospect that's going back to New Jersey on this one. We'll see. He just came over from the KHL. He's only got a 1-year deal. He's set to be a UFA, but we'll see how that all plays out. So, overall, this is, again, we'll get into some of this. New Jersey is one of these teams that just has me completely puzzled right now. This is definitely one of those trades as to why I agree with that. Well, that went way too fast. So with that said, do you got any thoughts on the New Jersey trade while I try to go back to that screen because your buttons are touchy? There we go. That's the one that we want.
I think it's a decent payout. I see Nemec as like a top defender, probably top 50, I'd say, in the NHL. So I think it's definitely a very good addition for Calgary, especially since they've been struggling the past couple of seasons. It seems like they can't really decide if they want to be like a wild card team or obviously they are just short of missing the playoffs. So I think it'll be a good addition for them.
I don't disagree with that. We'll see how that all plays out here. I'm just doing a real quick Elliot Friedman check while we have this little moment.
Does this
we'll
count?
Keep going. Does this count?
Well, this is Puck Report, but...
No, we do not count Puck Report.
Okay, all right. I'm going to get on Puck Report.
If it's Elliot Friedman, I mean, we can report those as rumors, but until we see Elliot Friedman, TSN, Well, here, LA Freeman does have it. So Eric Halla
Another team.
is with another team again. He signed with the LA Kings too. So remember, whenever I do this, the years are going to be first, the money is going to be second. So it's a 2x3x6. So 2 years, 3.6 million with the LA Kings. So our first official free agent is off the board. He wasn't on my list.
He wasn't on the list.
I mean, he's a good third, fourth line player. We got this done. Evan Demidov, who was a restricted free agent for Montreal, he signs an 8-year, $9.125 million extension in Montreal.
Makes sense.
Dan Vladar gets his extension done in Philly. That is a 5-year, $5.5 million. Yep. Gudis, which we're going to get to here in a little bit, he signs his deal with Florida, 6 years of $1.5 million. I can't believe he got 6 years. Zellinger extends in Buffalo 3 years, around $9 million for him. What do we have there?
Habs got lots of core players locked up for under $10 million.
Yep.
Genius.
It's like what the NHL does is it's a copycat league, and I think a lot of people see what Carolina did with some of their young core, and that is what Montreal is doing. So there we have that one. So let's get into some more of these trades here real quick. So this was the Brady Tkachuk replacement. Basically, they get William Eklund from Ottawa. From San Jose, excuse me. San Jose got another first round pick. We'll get into San Jose's draft here in a little bit later because they had an amazing draft day to say the least. But Eklund is, let's see here. What did he have here? 23, just completed his third full season, signs a 3-year, 6.8. He'll be in the first year of that deal. He had 53 points, including 15 goals. Two other prospects that come over. One is 21, played in the HL last year. He had 35 points. Brandon Svoboda is a junior at Boston U. He's not signed his entry-level deal yet, but Ottawa still has a year to do that. He had 15 points in his year. But clearly the whole point of this deal was getting Eklund for the Brady Tkachuk replacement, right?
Yeah.
I do agree. Ottawa, and it was only a number 9 pick that they gave up. So that was good. All right. We already talked about this. So we'll get into now the Washington Caps, and I joined the guys on Tuesday on the show last night to go over these. Washington definitely did a lot. The first deal that they made was getting Jordan Kyrou from St. Louis. They do give up Connor McMichael and another prospect. McMichael, is solid, but Kyrou is a stud. There's no other way to get around that. So he is a 28-year-old, 5 years left on his deal at about $8.125 million. 378 points with 168 goals in 488 games. He's going to be a great add on the right wing for Washington. They did give up one of their 2 picks that they had in the draft. We'll go over the draft here later. McMichael is a solid guy. He struggled a little bit last year when they moved him to center. I think them throwing him back to wing should be helpful for him. He had 46 points with only 14 goals. He has 154 points with 67 goals. He is a restricted free agent, so St. Louis still has to sign him. I assume that they'll be able to get that done, but we'll see. Gastron's only 19. He was a second-round pick last year. He had 24 points in the top Swedish league. He has not signed his entry-level deal yet. But again, he also has time to sign that. So we'll see how that all plays out. So there was that deal, which I really liked a lot for Washington. It's a smart move for sure. Then we had the head scratcher, and it got even worse today, in my view. Chicago gets Byram and Greenway from Buffalo for another young player in Crevier. And then, of course, they got the number 4 pick, and they also got a second-round pick. Chicago just signed Byram to a $12 million a year, 8-year extension. I don't get it. He's a good D. I don't think it's that he's a bad D. Let me pull up his stats here real quick. Career high. He did have career high, 42 points last year, 11 goals. And he was set to be a UVA, but they just got his extension done, so he's no longer going to be a UVA at the end of next year. 152 points with 44 goals in 328 games. Again, he's a solid guy. It's a lot to pay a man. That is just solid. Greenway only had 6 points in Buffalo from 40 games. He's in the last year, $4 million deal, so I don't know if he's even going to be there or not. The guy that Crevier is 25 points with 7 goals. He's 27. He's got a year left. So most of those guys don't really matter. It's about Byram for the pick at number 4. I just don't think he's worth a number 4 pick. But what do you think?
Holy buyout. Chicago's been struggling with a rebuild for years now. It's no secret. I don't think Bedard's going to want to keep up with it much longer. I'm pretty sure he's tired at this point because it's just Bedard on that team that's really carrying, I think. I couldn't even tell you any other players on their roster, I fear. So, I don't know. But Buffalo got a lot, which makes me kind of happy for their process too. So, we'll see.
Let's see here. Demidov on the extension. He does have a 10-team no trade clause. Let's see here. I am not seeing. So that's it for right now as far as the two big guys go. We'll check TSN here after we get through all the other news here. So, yeah. So Colorado, Nashville, they make a swap here too. This one's mostly the interesting part is Jack Drury goes to Nashville. He was set to be a restricted free agent. He just signed a deal with him. It was a modest 5-year, $4.5 million deal. Everyone else on here is kind of, throw-ins basically. Drury's the big guy, 27 points with 10 goals for Colorado. He was also a member of the Carolina Hurricanes, so he's got 82 points in 268 games. Bradley was in the AHL. He's 24. He's set to be a restricted free agent. The two players that Colorado gets are younger. They're on their entry-level deals. Svechkov was the first-round pick in 2019. LaRue did play 25 games in Nashville with 5 points. He's also a first-round pick. So Colorado gets two young guys on entry-level deals, which they needed to free up some cap space for, so that makes sense. Nashville gets Drury, a good add for them. I think he's a good core two-way player, which Nashville was lacking some guys that could play defense. So I like this deal for Nashville. It makes sense for Colorado too. Any thoughts?
Do you have the re-signing of Jack Drury in here?
Go ahead. Yeah, come in. Yes?
Maybe.
I heard the door. Didn't you hear the door?
A little bit.
Oh, maybe it's a cat. Could be a cat. Cat trying to come in. No cats in. No cats allowed. The law. Yeah. So Jack's was 5 years, $4.5 million.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he that good?
He's with today's NHL with the other contracts going around. Yeah, he's
just give him the money.
5 and I don't mind 4.5. I mean that's an okay deal for a third line center, and that's what he's going to be, or should be. Probably will be for Nashville. He's the fourth line center in Colorado because that team was loaded. But Nashville he should be a third line center, so I don't hate that deal. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes though.
Oh,
all right. Yeah, I had it there. All right, and then the other big splash, of course, was we knew that Buffalo was likely not going to re-sign Alex Tuch. So Washington steps in. They give up a pretty decent prospect, or not prospect in kind of he's not really in that. He's 6 points in 40 games. So, but Tuch does join the Washington Capitals, gives them another big stud. Look, it's a good trade for Buffalo in the sense that you got something. They got a third round next year for him, and somebody that otherwise they wouldn't get anything. Washington, of course, turns around, signs him to an 8-year, $10.5 million contract. Tuch is 30, clear top 6 guys, 33 goals, 66 points last year. Had a good first round against Boston, struggled a little bit against Montreal. Not that he wasn't getting shots, just couldn't get anything to go in. Tuch's on his 14 now, scoring 448 points with 200 goals in 615 games. Kampf had 6 points in 40 games with Vancouver and Washington. He's 31, and he's set to be a UVA. So was basically just a throw-in player, but I don't know that Buffalo is going to sign him or not. I haven't heard anything that they're signing him. So what do you think on this?
I think it's decent. It's making me really excited for Washington's upcoming season because obviously adding Alex Tuch and then obviously Jordan Kyrou, like we talked about earlier, I think it's crazy. And especially since we're assuming that they re-sign Ovechkin, I think it's going to be a really good line that we got coming in. That's
going to be funny because I'd never heard anyone say this year or going into this any idea of Ovechkin not playing for Washington. And they talked about it on SiriusXM radio on my driving around to get some stuff for our parties later this week about the idea of maybe Alex comes back, but not in Washington. Like there's nothing that says that he has to have the perfect ending of his career with Washington. I've never even put any thought to it, but then all of a sudden it got me thinking. I still think if he's playing in Washington. But man, what if somebody is able to pry? Are they making these moves because they're not sure what Alex is going to do? Because it's been very quiet in Washington, other than you've heard a few little bits of he's going to sign, or he's, that the deal's in place. He's just got to decide if he wants to come back or not. I think for the Caps, he would have decided that already if he's coming back or not, so that they could make other moves. But they seem to have made the moves whether he's not coming back.
I mean, it's not. I think they're just like playing games with us. I think he knows that everyone's waiting on his decision, and I think he's playing games about that way.
It does seem that way for sure.
He was even that way like the last time when he re-signed the 2 years.
That is true. And then Columbus makes a big move. Of course, the other news in Columbus, not so good about Zach Werenski wanting out, but they did add Valeri Nikishkin, the other Nikishkin instead of Nishishkin. I always have fun with that, as Jared loves to point out. But he's 26, a second-round pick from 26. They gave up 3 different picks for him. He had 49 points last year with 17 goals. He's got 4 years left on an 8-year deal. 357 points and 154 goals. The third forward traded by Colorado, who's dealing with cap issues. So again, seemed to have some fallout there. So I think it's a move-on deal. Yeah, it does make Columbus definitely better, depending on what happens. I don't know if this is going to appear, because they made this move, and then Zach still said he wants out, and now there's chat that Marenko wants out too. So I don't know what's going to happen in Columbus, but I thought it was a good move for them.
Is it okay? This might be like stirring the pot, but with Don Waddle being there, do you think that's a reason why people want out, or is it more?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's just Columbus market has an issue,
probably.
And I never understood it, because I've been to a few it's a beautiful arena. The crowd is into the game. I just don't know. Columbus, for whatever reason, just doesn't seem to be an attraction for NHL players. But to me, it's very similar to Raleigh in a lot of ways. And like, you can go play for Columbus, and you're kind of off the radar down there. You can live a life, where some of these cities you can't do that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out for him, for sure. So I don't know. I hope the best for Columbus, because I do kind of like to see when they're good. It's good because I don't mind Columbus. It's weird. Like, normally you're supposed to hate teams in your division. I don't mind Columbus, and I don't mind Washington.
You usually go to the games.
That could be. And if I see them on TV, I watch them.
I don't hate Washington.
I know, but you're supposed to hate the teams in your division.
I hate Florida, and they're not even in my division.
Hold on. Gonna make it fun here now, because I gotta find your mouse is weird. I don't like your mouse. You do it. The banner's over there. Oh, that's it. Yeah, there you go, that one. All right, so while she does that here, next up here, and then I'll have her hit the button here next up, Buffalo gets a D back. They added Olin Zellweger from Anaheim for prospect Anton Wahlberg in a 2026 second round. And on that deal, let's see here. Go ahead. Then you got to come over here to hit that. Yeah, one more. There we go. Yeah, so on this one here, Zellweger is a nice little ad for them, and he just signed his deal with them too. 22 points, 7 goals on the backside for Anaheim. He was a restricted free agent, but he's signed. A bit shorter, 16 goals, 51 points in 164 games, but again, only 22. So it's a solid move to get. I think he could be better than Byron, to be honest with you, long term. Wahlberg was a second round pick in 23 by Buffalo at 30 points in the AHL last year. He's only 20. So a young guy kind of swap here on this one. I like it for Buffalo. It's a good ad. It makes sense to add to their core, and especially because they already got him locked up. I did not get the years on him, but it was a modest deal, if I remember right. I think he got like $4 to $6 million a year. I'll try to see if I can find that real quick.
Scooter reporting in TVR to Pens.
TVR to the Pens. Yeah, another one that I don't think he was even on the list either. So TVR made his rounds with Washington, Carolina, Philly. It looks like he's going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's made some okay moves. We'll get into that here too. So any thoughts on Zellweger to Buffalo?
To be honest, I barely knew the name. So it's kind of like a smaller trade to me, if that makes sense. It's not something I can fully get my intake on.
That's okay. You don't have to. All right, so then the fun began yesterday with these moves. Florida and Anaheim traded the rights for these two players. AJ Greer goes to Florida, or to Anaheim, because when Florida added their other was it Greenway? No, who they had last week? The brute from Philly. Anyway, the move that move made it where AJ Greer was going to be useless to them. He's going to be a UFA. It seemed like Gudas was going to go back to Florida anyway, which he just signed his deal. It's a 6-year, $1.6 million for Gudas, who is a nice. Let me pull up his age here real quick. Garrett Hathaway. That's the guy from Philly. I knew I had it here in my notes somewhere. I just had to find it here. I got too much notes here. So anyway, with that deal, AJ Greer got 4 and 5. Gudas gets 6 years, $1.5 million for a 36-year-old defenseman. Just make sense to me. I mean, look, it's a deal. I mean, Gudas is going to be cheaper than what they were going to have with AJ Greer for sure. I like Greer. He's a solid depth guy. Gudas is 36, and signing him for 6 years. We'll see how that goes here. I don't know. So then the Florida started making their goalie moves, because the whole key about this is Bob seems to be chasing money more than chasing a ring. So Florida brings in a better backup goalie. Akira Schmidt comes from Vegas. Schmidt also played time in New Jersey. Before he went to Vegas, he was 16 and 10 on 6 with a 2.59 and 893 save percentage. Basically, though, he's going to be third in line at Vegas with behind Hart and Hill. He is better than Tarasov. So I like this goalie move for them. This was a good, smart move to add in a better, but I was first a little bit nervous thinking that they thought Schmidt was going to be their one. I did not like that idea, but I do like him better than Tarasov, because Tarasov was not good in Florida last year. They brought in a guy that they were familiar with from before, and it just didn't work out that well for him. Were you okay with this move?
Yeah. Schmidt is in a better place.
Yes.
Well, no, because this is like these are like, you know, two
Although
teams.
I know you hate the Florida.
I hate both.
We hate both of these teams. Huh? Hold on. Well, here, before you fix that. All right, now you can fix that. So this trade was the big one, of course. Also, Jacob Markstrom then goes to Florida from New Jersey and the other guys really don't matter. The guys who going back to New Jersey matter. Evan Rodriguez, Jesper Boqvist, and Ben Steeves. This move, I'll be interested to see how this works. I mean, basically, they're trading a 36-year-old goalie for another 36-year-old goalie. The question is going to be, which Markstrom do they get? The one from 24-25 was 26, 16, and 6 with a 2.50 and a 900 save percentage. The goalie last year was 23, 19, and 1, 307, 883. That's going to just depend on which Markstrom they are getting. He is 36. He's got 2 years left at $6 million. So they had to move players out, and unfortunately, they move out Rodriguez, Boqvist, and Ben Steeves. The big boys on this one is Rodriguez and Boqvist. I think Rodriguez is going to be a huge miss for them. He's one of those glue guys. It'd be like Carolina trading away Martinook. Doesn't score a lot per se, but he's a solid guy, and I think he's one of those glue locker room guys. So it's going to be interesting how this deal works out. Does it make Florida better in goal? I don't know.
Looking at this trade, you can obviously tell that Florida's just cap dumping, because, I mean, they were basically over. Now you have to chuck Markstrom, which I don't think he's going to ask. I think he's going to ask for like a...
Well, he's got a 6-year.
Yeah.
He's signed 2 years, 6.
So, like, you got Markstrom, obviously, to chuck, and then Schmidt. So I think it is just generally them dumping their cap, which is okay. But like you said, like Rodriguez, and I would even say like Boqvist, I think those are solid guys on the team where it'll be interesting to see like how it helps the team chemistry.
Anthony brings in the extension that they got for Eetu Luostarinen, which was a smart extension for sure. I did not have that in the notes just because he's a restricted free agent. Unless a restricted free agent gets traded, you assume that those deals are going to hopefully get made. But I think that one was a 4. Was it 4 and 6 that he got? Or was it more? Let me pull him up here. I will pull him up though while I got it. I'll pull up and we will discuss it because it is a smart move for Florida. I like, look, that's a deal that they had to get done. It's one of the restricted free agents they had signed.
8 years, $5 million. 8
years, $5 million. There it is. So yeah, 8.5 is a solid, especially with considering the fact that Byram just went out and got $12 million. I'd give Eetu $12 million before I get Byram $5 million, if you ask me. So yeah, I like that deal for Florida. It's a really nice deal for sure. Let's see here. What else we got? Nope, I'm on the wrong side. Over here. Yeah, we already talked about that. Anthony, I'll get to you. All right, so these were some other minor trades. We talked about Florida adding Hathaway from Philly already. That was a smart move. It gets a great guy back. The Pens got LaPerriere from Washington. This was a smart move for Washington because he's a strict free agent. I don't think they were even going to sign him. They got like a 3rd-round pick for him. Ottawa got Arison from Toronto and Burakovsky from Chicago. These moves are kind of interesting for me. Arison, Toronto just traded for. I don't know who is going to be backing up Stolarz now in Toronto in goal. Maybe they figure that out today. We'll see. That one was interesting. St. Louis added Brandon Carlo from Toronto as well. So Toronto's making a whole bunch of moves that are, to me, just to make moves. All right. Then the Rangers started another full fun day of trades, too. This was on draft day. Pavel Doriev goes to New York. Doriev signs just in a crazy deal. Let me pull up that one here somewhere. I got it here. His deal was 7 years, $11 million. He was going to be a restricted free agent. He had a career high 37 goals last year, 64 points, great playoff run, 149 points. So this is definitely a good ad for New York. Vegas I thought was making moves because I thought they were going to pull off a Dylan Larkin deal on draft day. That has not happened yet. I still think that they're making those type of moves. Sarah, what did you think of this one?
I mean, I think it's good for New York, especially since, they've been a little, but I think it's definitely a good addition. I will say, like, maybe a little overpaid, but it's okay. I think it'll work out fine.
I do agree with you, Anthony, with the defense of the Panthers. They don't need elite level goaltending. I'm just not sure that Markstrom's better than Bob. And
he's not.
And I don't, especially, now Bob wasn't good last year either, right? So, and that's the question is, if you're getting the Jacob Markstrom from 2 years ago Florida's going to be fine. We'll probably maybe see each other, or you might see Washington in the Eastern Conference Final, but they're clearly a top 3 team. If you're getting the Markstrom of last year, that could still be that could be a concern to me if I'm a Panther fan. I don't hate the deal. I think it's fine, but I'm not sure that I love it. Says Carlson exploring other opportunities, and now I'm gonna. Carlson. I think Carlson will get to that one. We will get to that pick. We haven't got to that one yet. So but we will get to it. We'll see how that all plays out. I'm not surprised by that though. All right, Utah traded away a couple players too. They traded away J.J. Petrika to Boston. This one kind of surprised me a little bit. They did get a first-round pick for him and 2 first-round picks. One of these picks, then they turned around and got goalie Sebastian Costa from Detroit. Petrika gets a 47-point guy, 25 goals last year, came over from Buffalo. He's got 4 and 7.7 left on his deal. Utah does have a lot of young guys coming up. I just think that they just didn't think that they're going to have enough money long-term, so they dealt him out with other guys that they got to deal with. What do you think about that one?
I think it's good. I like this trade a lot.
I do too. For the player and for Utah, because then what Utah did, if I can get it over here to this other one, there it is. Utah then turns around and trades that pick to get Sebastian Cossa. This is going to be he signed his 2-year deal already, so it's a good goalie move for them. Basically, with this deal, Kossa's 23, 26, 8 and 4 with a 2.33, but he's set to be a restricted free agent. What are you pointing at my phone for?
I'm gonna check for you.
Okay, you're gonna go over and see what Elliot's got.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, I like this deal. It's a good deal for Cossa. I'm kind of surprised Detroit gave up on him. He was their first round pick. He's kind of been battling a few things, but he was solid in Grand Rapids. 26, 8 and 4, 2.33. I'll take that any day of the week. So I like this move too. Are you good with this move while you're checking?
Yes.
We agree. I don't know what Detroit's doing. All right, then this one, St. Louis gets Mason McTavish, who seemed to be just on the outs with Anaheim for 2 first-round picks. And again, they had a lot of first-round picks, St. Louis, after making their deal. He only had 41 points last year, 17 goals. Seemed to not really be enjoying his time, but he's only 23, 6 years left on a deal that he just signed. The question is going to be, can he find it in St. Louis? It's a good ad. He's young. He's fast. I think he fits what St. Louis wants to do as long as he wants to be there. What do you got? Anything?
Zuccarello and Gustafsson.
Wow. So the Kings are making the moves this year. They add Zuccarello, who was on the list, and Eric Gustafsson, who I believe is also on the list, are signing with the Kings. So that's 3 players for the LA Kings already. So
that's great.
The Kings seem to be the team that is going all in. This move was surprise day 2 move, which we just talked about. Vic brought it up. Carolina got the rights for John Carlson for a player, which is a prospect, who then Carolina went and traded back to get Kyle Masters back for another pick, another prospect, and a 2026 6th-round pick. This trade was interesting just for that. Carolina, the rumor is Carlson wanted a 2 and 10. Carolina was trying to get him to do like a 3-4 year deal at like $7 or $8 million, because Carolina just doesn't really like doing $10 million deals. That did not happen, and now Carlson is officially out there in the market. So we will see what happens with him. Doesn't mean he won't sign with Carolina, but we'll see.
He hasn't closed the door, but the agent's talking to other teams. Tampa Bay, Philly is among them.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay was one of these rumors that really wanted him bad. So we'll see. I mean, somebody offers Carlson 2 and 12, especially with Byram getting 2 and 12, then I just say, okay, good luck. Have a nice day, right? I'd love Carlson on our team, but with Nikishin, who knows what's going to happen. So
Zuccarello's deal is $1 and $1 million. So just a simple.
That sounded about right. So all right, so let's do this here real quick. Here, come back over here. Right, I can touch that.
Yes.
And let's do this here real quick. Let's do this before we get into the UFAs to watch and all that fun stuff. As we talk about that, let's do a real quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. All right, boys and girls, we are back. So this was our list kind of that we've been talking about of free agents to watch here. Of course, I will update this as we move through, but Tuck is already gone. Rash is gone. Anderson is one that's still out there. Carlson is now out there. Bobrovsky, these are the big ones. Anders Lee, Trouba. Oh boy, I did that again. So these are all of our level free agents here that we talked about in the last show. These are the big guys, kind of big guys. None of these have signed yet. Anderson seems like he's going back to Vegas. Carlson's out there. Bobrovsky's out there. Edmonton's been talked about for Bobrovsky. Maybe where's the other place?
I feel like a child with the phone.
I know, I tell you. Bobrovsky was Edmonton what's the other city? Buffalo, I've heard. I've also heard Buffalo with Hal Buck. So we'll see. Toronto was another one for Bobrovsky. Anders Lee's out there. Jacob Trouba's out there as well. Then with their second round, Anthony Mantha, who had a really good year in Pittsburgh. Mason Marchment, Columbus, Boone Jenner, Zuccarello now officially off the board. I'm not going to try to do that.
Are we taking pure LeBron reposts? Is
Yes.
that the same thing? Jaden Schwartz, Colorado, 3 years, 3.25.
All right, so that's another one off the board that wasn't really on our tier list here. And so there's our other tier. Oh, there he is, Jaden Schwartz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was on our. I couldn't remember. Yeah, Seattle right winger, 26. How many did he get?
3.25.
3, 4. So he gets a little. I had it projected at 2, 4, 2, 2, and 4. So he gets a little bit. He gets another year, but a little bit less at 3.25. And then we'll see where Tarasenko is still.
That's a good addition for especially after losing Nikushkin.
Yes.
So we'll see.
I agree. I like that. I don't hate that deal. There's 2 teams. Let's see here what he thinks in terms of average. Yeah, Edmonton, Toronto. Those are the 2 rumors I've seen. I mean, it makes the most sense for Edmonton, but again, if he wants 6 and 7, yeah, good luck with that. All right. There you go. I set that up for you. I set that up for you for sure. All right. So there we go with that. So let's do this here real quick. I think I got this pulled up here. Oh, and of course we did have Ovechkin. So I want to recap the draft now. So how I did this, if it's black, it means that we got the pick right. There was no surprises through our first 3 picks. Buffalo was our first surprise, which they traded up. They got Dax and Rudolph. I didn't mind Rudolph. I just thought 4 was a little early for him. Let me pull up my draft day notes here because I got them all over here. That's that list. Then we'll go back to our list here and we'll update that as we go along here too. Where is he at? There it is. Buffalo. There he is. He's a solid D played in Chicago in the WHL. I still think, I don't know. I really thought Reed was the better pick here, but he's supposed to go to Michigan State next year. So we'll see what happens with that. Did you like this pick or were you also surprised by it?
I think I was working during this, so I wasn't really keeping up. The only players that I really kind of knew is McKenna, Stenberg, and a couple others. So I think it's okay, though. I mean, I definitely agree that they need some defense, assuming that he gets into the league. He's working around with Darlene and all those other players, so I think it would be good for the kid.
Yeah. The Rangers took Smith, so I was feeling really good. I had 4 of the first 5 right, and I was just mad at Buffalo for ruining it. But I was happy with 4 of the 5 right. Then 6 through 10, this one, the red is where I got the right position, but just not the right player, or was completely wrong. Calgary, they frustrated me. I thought for sure they would take the Bjork, who then later goes to Winnipeg. So this one, what was not a good. I don't mind the pick, but it just was surprised by it. Seattle then gets Chase Reed at pick 7. I really like that pick for him. Then San Jose turns around and gets another good D in Verhoff at 9. Nashville started this run, and the players that went 10 through 13, I remember during the show, if you watched last week, I talked about they could all kind of go in different spots. Nashville takes Colin. I heard an oh no. Is there something exciting out there? Or?
Well, my friend, it's my friend texting, so he's not a trusted source, but he said Corey Perry is heading back to LA, but I haven't seen anything reported back on it.
Well, we'll see.
That would be really funny.
That would surprise me. And if so, then that means all these moves for LA are pointless. So, picks 11 through 12. I did get Columbus's 100% right. St. Louis, these were all okay picks. I didn't mind any of them. Again, these were all guys that I had kind of there. None of them really surprised me in any way, shape, or form. Utah then traded up to get Belletz, so he went there where I thought he'd go, just to a different team. Washington ended up taking Savanto. I thought that with Morozov still on the board, that would be their pick, so I was a little bit surprised by that. But again, I actually thought that Savanto was going to go up ahead of him, so I didn't think he was going to be there for Washington, or I might have had that pick. But there are lots of guys there. I do like the pick though for Washington. It's a position of need at center, so I didn't mind that at all. And then Buffalo gets Morozov. I did like that. San Jose then turns around and gets Ryan Lynn. So they got arguably 2 of the best defensemen and Stenberg. San Jose had an amazing first-round draft for sure. Here are the picks 22 through 23. I did Liam Ruck went to Pittsburgh. If you remember, I was hoping Ottawa would be able to get the Ruck boys, but in the second round, Pittsburgh does turn around and get Ruck's brother. So the Ruck twins are the first brothers to be drafted together since the Sedins by Vancouver. That was in 2019, if my math is right. I think I got it on the slide coming up. So, any surprises in the later draft here? I did 31 as being correct because remember that's Carolina's pick, and my prediction was that Carolina was not going
You're
to
going to give yourself
there.
the kudos on that.
And so yeah, that counts because that was my pick. Was that Carolina was not going to make that pick. Then a nice story: Ottawa takes Jackson Cover, which is who I had Carolina taking if they were going to make a draft pick, but I knew that they weren't making the draft pick. He's only played hockey for 5 years, a lot of upside. We'll see how that goes. My day one winners were St. Louis, Seattle, and San Jose. My day one losers were Buffalo and Vegas. Vegas traded into the first round, and they took a guy that most people had in their third round. Did you have any thoughts on the later parts of the draft? I don't want to just be rude.
No, I don't. I think I'm good.
Okay. And then, so this, first set, so I had that one already. So Pittsburgh, completed that. And we talk about Carolina a lot. Calgary drafted Joe Ginla, son of former great Jerome. I like that too. Carolina originally was only supposed to have 3 picks in this draft. But what Carolina does when they don't have a lot of draft picks is they take that first pick, they trade it down, they get 2, then they trade one of those 2 and they get more. So Carolina went from 3 picks to 6 picks and the rights to Carlson. Now the Carlson move didn't work out. But this is how a lot of people ask, how's Carolina able to keep building their farm system? And this is why they're not afraid to trade late round picks in the first round to get more picks and just to keep building up and hoping that, that something hits. And usually they're pretty good about finding guys that hit and fit well in their system. So
you want to know something funny that I did?
What's that?
I'm into astrology, right? And for the past 3 years, it's been 4 years. I keep up of the zodiac signs that we draft. So I have the NHL draft list of zodiac signs that the Carolina Hurricanes players drafted.
There you have it. I mean,
if you guys need to know this, I'm not gonna. Well, we got 2 Libras, an Aries, a Leo, an Aquarius, and a Capricorn.
This is the coverage that
and this is important, guys. This is really
the coverage
important.
that you can't get anywhere else. On NHL free agency day. It's what is their zodiac sign. So, that's what you get here. So, all right. So while you do that, let's do this here. So we've had our list here up. So let me pull up here our list because this is the fun of being on live. We don't know what's going to break when and who's going to break where. So let's pull up here. I'm going to pull up TSN because that is the other trusted source here that we have along with Pierre. This day is going to be interesting. I don't really know what we're going to see. I mean, other than we're seeing LA make a ton of moves already. So that is kind of interesting to say the least. I don't know how that's going to play out for them because what they're adding is some older pieces. Are they good? I don't know. Is it good? We'll see.
I mean, Zuccarello is good.
Let's see here.
I think.
I know. Accept all cookies. We will accept our cookies for today. Let's see here. We got here free agent tracker. That's what we want. Boom. Let's click on TSN. So these are my sources: TSN, Elliot Friedman, Pierre LeBrun. If it's anyone else, I just kind of consider a rumor until it actually happens. So that's just my take on it. So let's see here. All right. So here's the Lutzerainen, 8 years, $40 million extension. We've already talked about that. Jaden Schwartz, we've talked about that one already. He goes on a 3-year deal, 3.25. Mason Marchment goes to San Jose.
Sorry, I was just stalking Pierre. I didn't stalk
Elliot. San Jose adds a huge piece. This is probably one of those Marchment, easily one of the biggest free agents. According to Elliot Friedman, he is going to San Jose on a 5-year, $7 million deal. Let me pull up here real quick here. Where is my little PowerPoint? Because I didn't put it on the screen anymore because we don't really need it on the screen per se, but I do want to look at it here. Let's see here what we had. Good old Mason. What did I have Mason getting? So Mason Marchment to San Jose. Let's see here. Go back. I gotta go way back. Let's see here. Too far. I went too far. You're going the wrong way. I had him at 3.5. He gets 5.7. Wow. So that's we talked about teams having these cap spaces, lots of cap space to move, and so here we have it. Mason Marchment is going to San Jose along with the draft class that they had. Let's see. The Kraken are giving Maki Samsovic a 3-year deal.
It was a player they got from Florida.
That's the player they got from Florida, right? So he has signed his restricted free agent deal, 3-year, $3.85 million. Had 63 points in Florida. Of course, we've talked about the Zuccarello deal, so let me pull up that one. Officially, Zuccarello hits the open market. He gets a 1-year deal with the Kings, worth $1 million. Look, I was shocked. He had 35 goals last year. For a guy that is just,
I think he's
he just
good.
keeps going. Yeah, I don't mind the deal. It's funny. You're like, oh my God, he's still in the league. It's one of those type of deals. So let's see here. Let me pull up my numbers here. I do have numbers from him. Zuccarello. There he is. Yeah, 38. He had 54 points last year. Got 1-year deal. Got it right about what I thought. So yeah, so good for him. So I don't mind that deal for LA. Now they signed Eric Hala. So good old Eric. Let's see, 2 years, $3.6 million. Well-traveled veteran. That's correct. 38 points in 81 games with Nashville last year. Flyers extend Tyson Forster on an 8-year deal. 8 years, $7 million. Demidov, of course, in Montreal. We just already talked about that. 8 years, $9.125 million. The Flyers and Dan Vladar, we talked about that. We talked about the Panthers getting Radko, Zabra. Oh, yeah, here's the Zellinger extension because I could not find that right away. Zellinger gets $3 million per season over the next 3 years after Buffalo. So it's a 3-3 for Zellinger. That's pretty solid. We did forget about this one. The Stars traded Maverick Bork and Eli Labushkin to Nashville for a 2026 second and third rounder. Again, this is the Stars seem to be trying to retain Jason Robinson. I know that's what they'd rather do. I think this is some salary cap moves to try to get them closer because Jason wants 14. I think the team wants to give him 12. So maybe this is hopes that they can get him signed. What we got up there? Sarah, you find anything else?
I don't have sources. I just have a bunch of
possibles.
Well, there's stuff that's official on. I don't use X because I just try to steer away from it. So I'm using Instagram, but I don't really know which one's reliable here. Possible Ottawa's keeping Samuel Urson. I don't know if we went over that already.
No, he was a restricted free agent.
Yeah. So and then. Ryan Lombard to Columbus.
Ryan Lombard. Okay.
Or Lumberg, whatever. 2 years, 1.3 mil. So I mean, that's a move. That's a move.
It's a move.
It's a move. Especially with we talked about the drama going on in Columbus right now. I think they're just trying to take whatever they can get. Yep. Forrester, we talked about the re-signing.
Yeah, we talked about Nico Hischier possibly being dealt from New Jersey. Instead, he gets a new 5-year deal at $12 million a season. That kicks in after this coming season. So the 27-year-old Devils captain is going to be remaining in
There's
New Jersey.
Possible trade.
A possible trade.
Corpusello goes to New York for Kalle Vasanen and a 2028 fourth rounder.
Oh, that's it. Well, because Jonathan Quick is officially retiring, so they do need a backup goalie. We'll see. That's just that is not from one of the big two, as I like to call them. So unless one of the big two or TSN says it, I don't count that as just.
We might have to refresh it.
We will probably have to refresh this here in a second here. All right, so.
Oh, you are okay. I was gonna say it was just hit the refresh button then.
There we go. All right, so let's see here. While that refreshes, let's go back to Pierre real quick.
It's Ian Cole.
Ian Cole to Utah.
That's for it's Chicago.
Chicago.
4.7 for 1 year.
Ian Cole gets $4.75 million from Chicago. Yeah, that's something, all right.
It just keeps getting worse for Chicago.
Yeah, and Trevor Van Riemsdyk to the Pittsburgh. We did talk about that one.
Don't know the official deal.
No, that one we have not gotten an official deal yet. Let's see here. Yeah, Elliot Friedman is reporting it. So the Corpusello trade is correct. So Giannis Corpusello is going to the Rangers. Boston is getting Kalle Vasanen and a 2028 fourth round pick. Ryan Lumberg to 1.375 to Columbus. Ian Cole 1 year 4.75, and Corey Perry is official. If Elliot Friedman says it's official, it is official. Corey Perry is a member of the LA Kings. 1 year, $1 million. So if you got any thoughts on any of these moves, throw them in the comments on whatever you're watching on. You'd love to hear any comments. If you got a team out there, let me know what you think about your team. and how they are moving along here. Speaking of teams, let me pull up this here real quick here, because we are going to have on our starting on next week's show, which next week, remember, we'll be back on our usual Monday time. But we're going to start breaking down every team. And what we're going to look at is a few different things. What the record was last year, who they added, who they lost, and if we think they're going to be better or worse. And granted, I know it's only July 8th. And you're like, well, the season just ended. But really, for the most part, these teams make these moves in these first 2 weeks, and then that's basically it. So, for example, for next Monday show, we're going to do, I'm going to start in the reverse order of the points that they accumulated last year, not necessarily where they finished in the playoffs and stuff like that. So it's how many points they had. I just go in reverse order. So next week's show, we're going to do Vancouver, Chicago. I'm sure that's going to be very well received. Calgary, or no, excuse me. Next week's show, yes, Calgary, the New York Rangers, and Toronto. That was 32 through 28. So that's going to be on our next show. What is that? That's going to be July 6th, right?
13th?
No, 6th.
Oh.
Right, because today's the 1st of July.
Ah.
Yeah, July 6th. Then on the 13th, we'll do Seattle, Winnipeg, Florida. So for our Florida fans out there, you'll want to see that one. Nashville, and then St. Louis will be our teams on the 13th show that will break down every team. Florida, obviously, we'll get some probably. Florida's probably going to get the highest marks of the offseason. Just the moves. Them and Washington are the two teams. We'll see about LA. I'm still not sure where I feel with the LA Kings right now with these moves that they're making. So with that being said, let's see here. Do a quick little refresh here. Nothing else popping up just yet here on this bad boy. So we will see here as we keep going here as stuff happens. So let's do this here real quick. If I can figure this part out, let me come back over here. Let's go ahead here real quick and let's do another little quick commercial break just to get one in to satisfy the boss man BJ with getting in commercials. And let's do this one. We haven't listened to this in a while. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with you. So just getting a few commercials out of the way here. I think we're all caught up on comments. We are. And let's do this here. While we're waiting here, too, of course, I know that we've got some World Cup fans out there. U.S. plays tonight against Bosnia. There is the Congo is right now currently at halftime defeating England. I think that would be another big upset. That's 1-0. 1-0. I'm sorry, 1-0 at the half there. So we'll see how that one plays out. Do have some baseball that has started too. The White Sox are up on the O's, 1-0 top of the second. So we'll keep you posted on other stuff here that hits here too, as we keep waiting for some deals here to pop through here. We are getting some of these small ones, but the big boys are all still out there, right? So we talked about the big boys. Let me pull back up the big boys and I'll bring that one back up here. See, this is where if I had this on my computer, I'd just be like boom, 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 boom.
Your computer doesn't want to work.
But my computer doesn't like me again today, which is weird because it's the same Wi-Fi, but somehow your Wi-Fi on your computer, it's fine. I know it's because of my work. I should not get into that too much. All right, so here we go. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Now let's go back here and add this back to the show. There you go. All right, so there we go. So these are the big boys. Again, none of these guys have signed yet. We'll see how that all plays out here. And then on our second tier here that we had, our second tier guys, we have gone from this list is just Zuccarello and Marchment now is gone too, right? Because he went to San Jose. Can I do this here? Where is my PowerPoint? That one. Let's see if this will work.
You editing it live?
I'm going to try to do a live edit. Yes, oh boy. If I can do it without... oh yeah, there we go. That's what I want here. So now everyone's seeing my fun here. This is how I do my PowerPoints. Now you all know, in case if you want to know. Tier 2. Mason Marchment is officially gone.
Marchment, Zuccarello.
I'll have to enable that. There we go. Now it's going to be good. So these are guys that are officially gone off of our list here. What did Marchment get? Do you remember? Do you remember what we said?
It was, I think, 5 years, 7 mil?
Yeah, I think that sounds right. 5 times 7 from San Jose. We're going with 5-7. That's fine. And Zuccarello got 1 and 1, right? Just 1 million. He only got 1 million in LA.
1 year, 1 mil.
Huh. I had him at getting 5 million a year. He took a way big discount.
For the LA experience.
LA 1 times 1.
LA has a good cap space, though. I think they could.
Yeah, they do now.
They could,
especially that one. So there we have that. So there's our tier 2 free agents. I don't think anyone's gone from the tier 3. Oh yeah, Schwartz is gone. He went to, where'd he go to? Remember? Where did we say he went to?
Colorado.
Colorado? Or,
Colorado.
man, I didn't realize Colorado got him. All right. What did he get from Colorado?
He got 3 years, 3.25.
3 times 3.25.
Corey Perry's gone.
Corey Perry went to LA. He is off of our list here.
1 and 1.
Lane is a funny one. I think somebody's going to take a chance on him. Patrick Kane seems to still want to play, so that's going to be another one. 1 and 1 with LA. And then we'll see what happens with Ovechkin. Like I said, we'll see here how that goes. So let's save that now. And there we have it. So there's our tiers that we've updated our tiers here. Oh boy, what did I do? Oh boy.
Brother.
Here, you find it.
What am I?
It's your computer. I don't know what I did with it.
You just want to stop showing it?
Yeah, that's fine. We should stop showing it for now. We'll go back to us. Back to us full time. This is what happens when we do a live show. We're trying to break breaking news sometimes. So sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But hey, we're here with you. It's going fine. It's all fine. It's all good. Everyone's good. Everyone's happy. All right, let's see here. Bringing up your Pierre again and Elliot. Let's start with Pierre this time. Just to do something new starting first here. Let's see what Pierre's got out here. Ooh, here we go. Ilya Mikheyev signs a 4-year NHL contract with the Tampa Bay. I think that is his entry year deal. 3.854 years. So that is one of their that's one of their draft picks that they've signed. So he was signed, 4 years, 3.85. Not too bad there. Ian Cole, 1-year deal with $4 million base and possible $750,000 in possible bonuses. So it can be $4.75 million. And that is it there. Let's see. John Carlson, we've already talked about that. Garrett Gustafson signed in there too. 10 team, we already talked about all those. All right, so there we are live on that. Let's go back to Elliot. See here, we got anything breaking with him. And we do not. So let me pull this up here. So I saved this little bad boy. We're going to save that one now. So I wanted to bring this up that Elliot did. And this will give something to chit chat about while we wait for other stuff here to happen. Come over here. This is my post. If it works. So these were some of Elliot Friedman's predictions, which I thought would be fun to go through here. So, of course, the first one he's talking about Zach Werenski. He's hoping that cooler heads prevail on that. Of course, we talked about him rejecting the trade to Toronto or to Dallas. It seems that he wants to go to Toronto because he's got ties there with his family. Also, of course, hers Florida, which I'm sure they'd love to. I just don't know what they're going to have to do that. Connor Hellebuck, some talked about him maybe going to New Jersey, but he wasn't buying that. The contract doesn't really fit his style. Buffalo is in there, but doesn't rule out Carolina yet for him. Dylan Larkin is the one that he's just not going to make a trade unless he thinks it's a good trade. Robertson, wants Dallas to budge. We don't know, but they have cleared up some space. We'll see. Bobrovsky, we already talked about. Edmonton and Toronto. Byron signs his $12 million deal. Nico Hischier signed. Quinn Hughes, 3 years, $18 million, probably sometime in July, is a prediction that he makes because Quinn Hughes is going to be due. Darnell Nurse, who, of course, is talking about wanting out. Pittsburgh wants Edmonton to take back a contract. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen. The Oilers didn't like whatever was presented to them. Philly has been talked about, but whether or not they got the pieces to put that together. Boston has shown interest, but there's also fun with that one. Oh, let's go with, you should put plug it in there. We're getting Sarah's, reach. Oh, I don't reach fine. It should be just fine. Everything's going to be fine. I think it's great. Your side's not your side or the other side?
My side.
That's okay. This should stretch. Go ahead. Pull that on over. Live computer. Yeah, the upgrades, so they don't go puts. All right, there we go. All right, so there she goes. So there. So that was the some of the stuff that Elliott, which I thought was interesting. Where's the nurse going to go? Mason Marchman, of course, he is now gone. He had predicted Toronto. He definitely did not go to Toronto. It did say San Jose might be a possible shot. So got that one right. Of course, we talked about Alexander Nikishin. There's a lot of interest. Carolina will hold until they get what they want. The Rangers were supposedly have offered they wanted picks, but Carolina wants a player back. They do not want just picks for him. He put in here that he can't sign an offer sheet. I don't know if that's because he came over from the KHL. So if that's the case, then he doesn't really have. He's going to have to accept something from Carolina or choose not to play and go back to Russia, which he could do, I guess. But that's easy. Centers are going to be the huge money makers because you got Noah Akari, Eric Hula, which is Hala, Boone Jenner, Scott Lawton, Colton Sissons, Kevin Stenlin. Utah still has interest in Vincent Trocheck, but he prefers to stay to the East. The Kings are try to get Hala before Lawton, and of course now he just signs out there, so it seems like that's going. He predicts that Anderson's going to stay. Stuart Skinner, if Hallebuck is traded, Winnipeg makes the most sense. Where does Stuart Skinner go? The defenseman, San Jose Sharks need D. Ian Cole, which of course now we know he's going to Chicago. Jacob Trouba. Ryan Shea had a really good year. Heard Lightning really like him, but they also have their eyes on Werenski and Carlson. Of course, we talked about Ovechkin. He returns in 26-27. Offer sheets on these restricted free agents. Last year, the Hurricanes threatened the Oilers, who signed Bouchard, and the Rangers, who acquired and traded Keandre Miller. And he thinks that they might make another splash and do another restricted free agent, but wouldn't say on who. And he believes Seattle's considering it as well. So we'll see what all these things happen as well. Of course, we talked about Maverick Bork, but he's just been traded away. So we'll get that some time to see, how that works out for them. What did we just have? Oh yeah, Florida Paul put out his little thing for E2 re-signing there, which we already knew. So
He's happy.
He's happy, and it should be. I mean, that's a smart deal for them. So I don't hate that deal in any way, shape, or form. So let's see here. Let's come back here live and see if TSN has anything out here as well. Just yet.
There's like these smaller players, but let's be
Yeah,
honest.
we're getting a lot of the smaller players so far. So yeah, so we are quiet here on that front here too. Let me go. I want to go one other spot here while we wait and see here. That is. I'm gonna go to. Just for fun. Okay. Let's check here on the NHL side just to make sure what they have. Now, when the NHL reports it, that means that the contract is officially into the league. So, like when Elliott and stuff reports it, it may not necessarily be showing up on NHL.com yet. The reason for that being is, of course, the NHL is going to wait and do stuff. So, this is kind of interesting. Let's go through this here. This could be good stuff. So, Anaheim still has some restricted free agents left too, and no big names there. They're unrestricted, or of course, Will Greer's now re-signed. Peter Mrazek, I didn't even know that he ended up in Anaheim, is an unrestricted free agent. Of course, Jacob Trouba, we mentioned Boston. Nothing really
Jeffrey
interest there.
Vale, he's one of the smaller ones. He's going to Tampa Bay.
Okay.
But
of course, Buffalo still has Zellinger, which that deal is now done. David Kampf, who we talked about. Luke Shen is a UEA in Buffalo too. That could be interesting to see what happens. Calgary, they got to get the Nemchuk deal done to make that deal worth it. Jake Bean, funding from past, might remember some folks. Carolina, like I said, they got no UFAs out there that they're, well, I guess Anderson and Carlson.
possible Victor Arvidsson to Detroit.
Who's reporting that?
It's my Instagram.
Oh, it's your Instagram. Okay.
I need to double check my.
We'll
work.
see on that. Yeah.
2 years, $5 million.
We'll see. Although that was end up being right on Perry, so we'll see. Maybe that source is okay. Borg is gone, so yeah. So the NHL.com sometimes always isn't good. This team's in Canada. Let's get that's the one I want right here. This is the better team than that one. Bing bong.
Jack Roslovic to Toronto. That's also my Insta.
Roslovic. All right. Well, that's
2 years, $4 million.
Yeah. And this is the one over here I'm trying to bring up here. But it's going very, very slow. At that. I just want this signing tracker. That's what I want. An air has occurred. There we go. This is the one I like. All right, so yeah, TSN is a good one here too, and this is not the sporting news. This is TSN out of Canada. That's another fun one. So this will give so Jack Roslovic is officially a Toronto Maple Leaf, 2 years, $8 million. So two and four is what that one is. So right-handed center came from where was he at last year?
Edmonton,
yes, because he was traded for a couple different places. Had a good year in Edmonton, so he was talking about Victor Arvidsson. There it is. It is official. He signs a 2-year deal at $5 million a year for the Red Wings. So he is not going back to Vegas. That's a bit of a surprise.
Yay! He escaped.
Let's see. A couple of minor dues. Yeah, Forster signs his restricted free agent deal. Florida signs their restricted free agent deal with Sandis Vilmanis. He's 22, 2 years, terms not released. Forster gets 8 years, $7.10 million a year for Philly, one of their restricted free agents. Dennis Gilbert, unrestricted free agent, signs with Buffalo, $850,000. That sounds like a depth move. Ross Johnson with St. Louis, Ela Mikhailov to Tampa, 4 years, $3.85 million, and then everything else there is the same. So Arvidsson is an official big name off the board. Do you think you can pull back up that thing or no chance?
What
The PowerPoint. Well, yeah, but remember I X'd out of it somehow without losing us on here. Don't exit out of StreamYard, whatever.
You want me to exit out of the StreamYard?
No, I do not want you to exit out of StreamYard. I wonder if it saved it or not. That's gonna be the real question. Did it save my changes? Probably not. Oh yes, pick up where you left off. Yeah, go ahead. There we go. Yeah, just leave that up. That's fine. That'll work fine. We'll just leave this part up. Like I said, it does not really matter if people see this. So Arvidsson is officially off the board. See what I did there? I like that. Yeah. No, off the board. Not giving me a look for that one. Oh wait, I was thinking of Anderson. That's Arvidsson. Too many R's. Is he on here anywhere? Oh yeah, I think it's 3. I didn't have him in my top 26. I think I was thinking of the Anderson. That's who I was thinking of. Not Arvidsson. That's so good too. Yeah, Paul's very.
No, he's right there.
Oh yeah, okay. Boston, that's where he was with. So he was not with. I was thinking of the other guy.
Oh wait, I didn't read these.
Yeah, he's Boston. We had the other guy that we were thinking of. Too many A names. But anyway, he's off the board, so that's all that matters. That's what happens when you do this.
Can you pull up Anthony? Oh, after you.
So he went to Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Toronto. Oh, there. Yeah, Samuel Arison signs his deal with Ottawa, 2 years, $2.2 million. So they lock up their goalie to be behind Almar, which is fine with me. So what did Arvidsson get? He got 2.5. Look at that.
Anthony, I don't know if you're still in here. I just saw these. Are there any big RFA offer sheets today?
I haven't seen offer sheets yet. So here, hold on, we'll pull this up here. Comments.
You got it. You still got it. Now you done it.
Yeah. So no, there's not been any RFA offer sheets that I've seen yet. So let's just say here. I have a question. Are both stadiums for the pro teams for the Hurricanes and the Panthers in downtown?
No, the Panthers are in Charlotte, and then the Hurricanes are at Lenovo Center in Raleigh. That's and then obviously you have the Charlotte Hornets also
In Charlotte.
The only thing we're trying to get in Raleigh is the MLB team. To hear me?
Yeah, that's right. And Anthony Scott here to we talked about that. Ryan Lundberg to Columbus, 3 slight overpay, but Columbus is going to have to do that to get people in there. So there we have those all set up here. So let's see here. So a few of the tier 3 guys are now coming off the board. And we'll see here how this here plays out here over these next 45 minutes or so. So let's see. Let's just look and see here. So we're doing a lot of refreshing and stuff like that. Harrison officially gets his deal.
Stuart Skinner to the Jets.
Well, so that's interesting because if Stuart Skinner is going to Winnipeg, seems to me that suggests that Connor Hellebuck is going to be getting traded somewhere here today. So it sounds like they're getting that in place. So
2 years, 3.75 AAV.
Yeah, so that's big news in one sense, right? Because that means we should be seeing a trade come on our way of Connor Hellebuck. Maybe not today, but that definitely I don't see that. We'll see how that goes for sure.
That's a good one.
Yep. That could be interesting for sure. So if we'll see here, yep, and let's see. Yeah, Vic's got it
Official?
here too. Well,
Or-
it's from Little Vic, so it's not official yet until I see Elliot or one of those guys doing it here. So let's see here what they have here. So there you go. John Carl. Oh, no, that's from Adam Gold. Jack Oxford. We're talking about that one.
I got it
I'm
on
also looking to
2
see
Instagram sources. I don't know.
Jeffrey Vale 5, 2.5. Talked about those ones. I was gonna see if Shayna reports anything too, because she's usually pretty accurate too and stuff.
I think Connor is going to Buffalo. I don't know. Hellebuck, right? I don't know if he would go to.
That's talked about. Yeah, we did talk about that one already earlier with him.
Yes.
With him resigning. And
That's a good assumption, I think, for Demidov is a solid.
he is, and it's one of their core guys. They had to get locked up, so I don't mind that deal at all. Especially with that,
Where would Hellebuck?
everything is going to be a good deal compared to what Byron got in Chicago. So, I mean, yeah, Buffalo seems to be talked about. That seems to be, and
Oh, it's official too.
Carolina is not going away. So yeah, so we will officially make this official. Stuart Skinner is officially a Winnipeg Jet. So that does bring us to the question of what does this mean for Connor Hellebuck? Because I don't think you bring in Skinner to be
A backup.
a backup. I mean,
He was
I think
okay
he
in
get-
Pittsburgh. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, Stuart Skinner is what Stuart Skinner is. So
yeah.
he gets 3.75. I mean, I don't hate it, but 2.75 for Winnipeg, but I think they like their other young goalie too that they had that backed up Hellebuck. So I don't think you make this move unless you're planning on moving somebody.
else.
So let's get this deal in place and then let's go and see what happens with that. So Stuart Skinner officially off the board on our.
Okay, but
on
if they
this-
keep
on this page here.
Hellebuck and Skinner combo, come on.
That's
That's good.
That's good. I don't mind that.
That's a good
I don't
combo.
think that's what's happening,
I don't know.
but if that is what's happening, but I mean, I don't know. You're paying Skinner 3.75 to be the backup guys.
What are your guys' thought on Nick Robertson to the Penguins? I didn't look at the exact contract. I did see that. Let me see if I
I
can
thought it
pull
was
up.
it was one of those trades for yeah. I don't think it was anything that wasn't crazy. Matt says you're probably old enough. What are your thoughts on the passing of Victor Willis fleets? Oh, I did see that. It
Wait, the
is.
YMCA?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's all
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, everyone knows the YMCA song. Yeah, I did see that. I was going to hold that off for probably next Monday show when we do a more regular show. I'll probably get into that a little bit more. But I did see that he did pass away. So yeah, it's funny as I get older. There's some people that I think I'd honestly already thought that he had passed away because as you get older, you're like, wait, I thought he already died. Oh no, he did not die. So, but
Still
that
alive.
happens with 54. Yeah, still alive. Somebody reported last week that William the Refrigerator Perry had passed away, and I thought that was a real story, and then I realized that I got fooled. So, yeah, we'll see. This is fun stuff. I do like now saying we may still arrive on time. Okay. My uncle's flying in, and his flight's delayed out of LAX, but they're saying that it's still they'll make up the time in the air. So we'll see. Breaking plane news for anyone that wanted to know. So, yeah, the Stuart Skinner signing, I think is Arvidsson and Detroit's an interesting one still too. So of all of our moves today, I think these are the most too interesting one. Does Pittsburgh have enough to trade for Robinson? I don't know. And then the question is too: does Robertson want to go there? I don't think he does.
I don't think he does.
I mean, he's rejected trades to Seattle, and he's rejected trades to who was the other one that supposedly I can't remember now, but I don't know. That's going to be that's the other question about Jason Robertson is he's going to have to want to go there. And
I love Robertson. Like, obviously, I've said I'm not shy of wanting him on Carolina, but I do think he's going to want a bunch of money. So it also depends.
He wants $14 million.
Yeah. So again, would love him to have on the team, but I don't know if it's a 14 mil kind of pay. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think with Pittsburgh. Well, because if Skinner. Okay, wait, no, this is just going to make me go in circles. If Skinner's going to Jets, then what is Pittsburgh trying to make a move for too? Because they only have.
Yeah, and he brings this up, which is a good point. Saying Pittsburgh would make sense because his brother plays there. I mean, that is true. That might help pull, but I don't know. But to go back to your other point, does Pittsburgh have? Because they've got a couple of young core guys, but the whole thing with Pittsburgh is what are you going to do when you do have three guys in Letang, Crosby, and Malkin that at some point in time are going to be retiring here relatively soon. So you don't want to trade away too much of your stuff. So a couple of these things here
Pittsburgh
that I want to
definitely needs a goalie because their only goalie is Artur Silos, which is backup. So they're definitely gonna make a move for a goalie too.
Detroit, Arvidsson, just to get some breakdown for him: 33, 25 goals, 54 points in 69 games with Boston last year. I don't know why I had Vegas in my brain. 2 goals in the 4 playoff games that Boston played. 5'10" winger coming off a 2-year, $8 million deal, so he gets 2 more at $5 million. So a little bit of a price cut for him, but he is 33 now. But overall, I still think that's a solid deal for him, and gives Detroit at least something to hang their hat on. Let's see here. Pull up a few of these other ones.
The goalie I can see the Hurricanes going after, but you're going to have to wait till the deadline is Bennington. I have heard rumors of Bennington going to Carolina.
Well, he was talked about, of course, last year too. So
yeah.
We'll see how that all plays out. On the Maple Leafs getting Roslovic, let's go over some of the numbers for him. 29, recorded the 21 goals, 36 points in 69 games with Edmonton last year. He had 6 playoff games. He had an assist in that before Edmonton bowed out. So he came off the 1-year, $1.5 million deal, gets a 2-year, $4 million. So hey, good for him. He took a chance on himself, and he finally gets at least a 2-year deal. So I'm good for him. He had a good season in Carolina. Just wasn't going to work out for him here. So happy for him on that side of it. And let's see here if there's any other big news here. And since he brought up Robinson, let me pull that one up here because I do have that. It should be pull up here on the trade ticker. And we'll see here. Let's see here what that had here. Yeah, there it is. So here we go. So yeah, Toronto gets a 4th round pick back. Pittsburgh gets Nick Robertson. Let's pull up some deals here with him. Of course, in Pittsburgh did also sign Trevor Van Riemsdyk. So Robertson, 24, 16 goals, 32 points in 78 games with Toronto last year. 5'9" winger. So yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't mind it. We'll see. Does this say he's coming off? So it looks like he is UVA. Can't tell if he's a UVA. No, because they wouldn't have traded for him. Let's see. Signed. This was after 1 o'clock. So, he's a restricted free agent. So there you go. So we shall see how that all plays out too. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind the deal. But again, it's fun with these restricted free agents. Now you got to be able to go sign them. To go back to the Bennington thing, I don't know if I want Bennington. I'm okay with us giving Bussy a shot with Piotr, but I get if they are nervous about that, and especially they're probably more nervous about Piotr, and would probably like to have somebody with Bussy lined up rather than the other one, because I get that on the Piotr side because he makes me nervous watching him at times. I just don't know what to think about him. So we'll see.
I think with him being out for injury for so long, it's going to be definitely a slow burn getting back into
that. I agree with. So who knows here how that will all play out here. All right, what else we got here?
So all these smaller players. I need the juice.
Yeah. Klimovich, right winger for Philly, 1-year deal, nothing really released there. So yeah, we'll see here. We're going to be on here for 40 more minutes here. We'll see if anything hits here. I appreciate all you guys' comments. If you see something, let me know. Paul, for those that know, Paul, he's talking about the Stuart Skinner signing. Insanely mediocre. I like that. That's pretty accurate for him. Insanely mediocre. Yeah, Philomanos gets his extension. We talked about that already. That's what he just brought up for his Panthers. I don't mind that one. Again, these restricted free agents are ones you got to sign. So let's take a peek here. We go Elliott. Let's see what happens here. Paul Cotter, 1 year, 2.15 in Vancouver. Noah Akari going to Philly at 2.8. Yeah, so that's not even hitting on here yet.
Nope.
So those are a couple. Again, these are all more minor signings than anything else. The LA Kings still want to bring back Scott Lawton, according to Pierre. That's the Arvidsson deal, which we've already talked about. We've already talked about Roslovic. This was Chicago. Oh, yeah. All right. So that's where we're at right now. It's a little quiet, which I do not necessarily mind. Let's see. Little Vic was talking about Skinner. He's got good underlining numbers, was just on a shitty defensive team. He was, but then he was also with Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh wasn't terrible, but I just don't know about Stuart Skinner. He can have games where he looks amazing, and then he can have games where he just looks terrible. We're going to talk about Cotter. That one is now officially showing up on TSN. So some of these deals here are flying in here. So let's do.
I think TVR's official is 2 years, $4 million AAV.
Wow, he got $4 million a year. Good for him. I like it. All right, let's do this. Let's do one more quick commercial break. Let's get another one of these in here because we've only done 2, and we're supposed to be doing one every 15 minutes. So we've been bad. So let's get one in here. So we'll be right back. All right, so we are back. Thanks for sticking here with us here. Take a quick look at the scoreboard here. Chicago still up on Baltimore, 1-0, top of the fourth. I think they're going for the sweep in Baltimore. We will get back into baseball again. Congo still beating England, 1-0 now, 60 minutes into that game. Or sorry, 1-0. I forgot it. I got to remember. And then the Rangers in Cleveland has just started downtown Cleveland. It's got to be absolutely brutal down there. No score in the bottom of the first in that baseball game. So there you have it here. Let's see, tennis, any upsets here? The Wimbledon is going on. Of course, Serena tried her comeback last night. That did not go so well. Let's see, golf won. Yeah, she held on and won. Pagula won. So no upsets that I'm seeing of big news yet. So that's okay. And so here we are. So nothing from Carolina yet. A little bit of a surprise because Tulsi likes to make a move or two. That hasn't happened. The big boys are all still out here, which is kind of a surprise. I thought that we would see something happen on some of the bigger
big
ones.
Boys.
Yeah. What's left
for the draft
for this year's? So let's pull back up that one here real quick. So we've had a couple of these tier 3 guys signed, and we've had a lot of signings of guys that weren't even And we talked about this draft class being, or this UVA class that got really watered down. A few of the names here from our 2-tier list are off. So we got Mantha's probably the bigger one. Bunting is just an interesting player. I like him. Boone Jenner is an interesting player. So the fact that they're all still out there is kind of interesting. And then we have here, oops, I'm saying this, but I didn't even show it. Let's add that back to the stage. There we go. So we have Anderson there with Carlson, Bobrovsky. None of these guys have signed yet on our tier 1s, on our tier 2s. Again, Mantha, Bunting, Jenner are the ones that are still out there, and our tier 3s. Quite a few of these ones are still out there. Freddie's going to be interesting. I think he's probably still leaning towards retirement. But we'll see if any of this other stuff here breaks out here. We've got everything here lead up here. What'd you say?
My manager's asking for my schedule next
Oh.
week.
Let's see. You're here till Monday. Monday. All right. While we're here live, this is always an interesting part of the show. So let's check in here again. We're waiting for something else here to break. Vito's traded Dallas. That's crazy. Let's see here what this news is in here. Baltimore. I'd really be curious what the return was for that. Thomas Harley was supposed to be the centerpiece of the return. Other players' picks were involved too, but Wierenski decided two things. His preference for now is the Eastern Conference, that the relationship between player and the Blue Jackets is falling apart, and what could be its final days. So there you go. We'll see what happens with that. But, we talk about this. We could bring this up here one day. Like, the NHL seems like they've allowed these players to have a lot of these no movement clauses in their contracts. And I think it's starting to bite some of them in the butt where they'd like to be able to, and then, because that's the whole thing. Like, you give a trader these no movement clauses, and then they demand the trade. And then it's like, okay, well, and then they only give you 2 or 3 teams. It's like, what do you do? Like, it's going to be interesting. It's like Dylan Larkin is the interesting one. He only gave 3 or 4 teams. I don't think they want to trade him to anyone in that same division.
His 3 or 4 teams were also interesting locations too.
Yeah. Well, Vegas, because Vegas is on everyone's radar. But,
right.
It seemed like Vegas was moving cap space, where I still think that could be where he ends up landing, which would be interesting for sure. But let's see here. Ooh, new Pierre stuff here. Let's see what he's got. So these are guys that could come up next year. Mateus Maselli, another one of these $2.25 million deals with that. Yeah, let's see here. Cotter deal. That one's kind of interesting. Let me pull up the news on this one here. So Paul Cotter goes to Vancouver. Again, it's an OKD guy. He gets a 1-year, $2.15 million. Played with New Jersey last year. 9 goals, 15 points in 79 games. 6'2" winger, acquired from Devils way back when. So he's coming off a 3-year, $2.35 million. So this is just a 1-year deal for him at 2.15. So definitely a little bit of a pay cut for him. But again, Vancouver doesn't have a lot. I guess it makes them in theory a little bit better, but it's not an earth-shattering deal in any stretch of the imagination. Where I would get excited about if I was a Vancouver Canuck fan that we've added him and think that now you're going to make the playoffs for sure. So that deal is done. This is kind of a little fun for next year because Makar, who's entering the final year of his 6-year deal with Colorado, that is at $9 million on average. That he's talking that he's going to. His agents basically said he doesn't even want to hear talks until somebody offers him $20 million a year. But Makar's the best D in the game, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out for next year. The max that a player can sign for under the new $104 million salary cap for 26-27 is $20.8 million. That jumps to $22.7 million. So there are the most amounts that a player can make. So that does go up next year. That's the summer when Makar hits. So like this year, not that anyone has signed for this, but the max number out there is 20.8 that a player can sign for. 22.7 is the max in 27. So that goes up here slightly. Let's see here. Is there any other fun players to talk about? There is, of course, Connor McDavid next year. The latest on the Stars.
I have Vitek Vanchek in New York Islanders, but I don't know.
Was he? Oh yeah, because he was the backup for Utah, and then obviously they signed Kosa, so he was going to be in the move. So yeah, so Vita Vanchek, who was the backup in Utah, is now going to be the backup for the Islanders to back up, what's his name? Not Shesterkin. The other one. The other Russian goalie. The goalie from the Islanders. Why can I not think of his name? Sorkin, thank you. So that's a backup goalie move.
There it is.
There it is. So Vita's official. Looks like Noah Juleson is signing a 2-year deal with Colorado. But yeah, so Vanachek's a backup goalie. He gets a 1-year, $1 million.
Here?
He was not on the list now. So he was not on the list. Talks about So yeah, so this could be fun next year. Let's talk about next year's free agent class. Caleb McCarr, Quinn Hughes, Nikita Kucherov. These are all Nico Hischier is now off the board. Demidov is now off the board. Celebrini in San Jose. Could all be fun. So we'll see what happens. I think Connor Bedard is also going to be on that list, I think, if I remember correctly. So, so those are some names here, that will be interesting to see here, how that all plays out for next year and what happens with these contract talks keep happening and stuff like that. So, there you have it. So that's some fun to think about for next year and what we could be then. That could be a real fun show next year. These guys hit free agency. So, but I'm not sure that will happen on a couple of them anyway. So let's bring this back up here live speed. See if we got any good notes out there from either one of these two guys. Yeah, that talks about the Islanders deal. Nothing else really breaking news here yet. Let's check in with Pierre. Yeah, let's just talk about those two deals. So, yeah, so it's kind of quiet right now. I'm not even seeing anything on any of these trades I thought we might hit there. Let's take a peek over here. Let's talk about Stuart Skinner.
Wasn't it like this last year, like where we got a couple good deals, but then literally once we ended live, all the big ones?
That's probably what will happen. We'll go off the air and all this stuff will happen. Darren Dreger, who's okay. I don't necessarily always believe every word that he says. Talking about Alexander Nikishin from Carolina. Believes he is going to be moving. He likely ends up in the West. That he knows St. Louis was a contender. I don't know how much I believe that. I don't think that St. Louis is where he's going to want to go. But we'll see. Maybe. What else we got here?
I'm hungry.
I'm still talking about that. You didn't eat before you came over? Nope. That was a mistake. No restricted free agents getting signed to offer sheets yet. That's kind of it. We are all is quiet right now. That I can see. Yeah, LA Kings are the biggest one. They signed 4 players who by the start. Well, that's kind of funny. The LA Kings have signed 4 players who by the start of next season will be 41, 39, 35, and 34. Oh, there we go. So it's got some details here on the Julison deal for Colorado. Let me pull that one up here real quick because they also added Schwartz, who we talked about earlier. So let's bring up both of these. So Jaden Schwartz, 3-year, $9.75. I know we kind of mentioned that a little bit before, but it adds the blue line, signing Noah Julison to a 2-year contract. 29-year-old had just 1 goal, 10 points, 52 games with Philly last season, adding 2 assists in the 5 playoff games. Schwartz, 34, 11 goals, 26 points in 50 games with Seattle. So, a couple solid moves here for Colorado to add in some pieces that they'd lost at a little bit cheaper too, which is what they needed. So Colorado's getting their roster filled out. Hey, I can't blame them for that. That's all good stuff. Yeah, Demidov 8 years, 70. Here, pull this up here too, because he talked about that. Yeah, Demidov got the 8 years, $73 million. That's a nice little pay raise for him, but well earned as well here. With that story here, I don't want to pull his numbers. We haven't talked about his numbers enough here. I don't think we said that we all like the deal, but let's pull up and get into some more details on it, maybe, if it will let me. Doesn't seem to want to let me for some reason. It does not like me. Yeah, there's some. Let's see. Yeah, Mikheyev. I wanted to talk about that one too. I forgot about him.
Which one?
Mikheyev to Tampa Bay. That's a 4-year, 3.85 for him because I think he came from Chicago. Yeah, so 18 goals, 36 points with Chicago last year. 31 years old, 6'2" winger. Kind of came off his rookie deal, 4-year, $19 million. So we'll see how that one plays out for Chicago, or not for Chicago, for Tampa. I don't mind that deal at all.
What was it again?
Okay, 4 years.
No, but like the deal.
It was 4 years. 4 years, $19 million. No, that's the year before. $3.85 for 4 years. So little shave, but not much of a shave. That's an okay shave, if you ask me. Yeah, we were talking about that one. Oh, that's just a story. That's why it's not playing. That's right. It's not going to let me play a story because I have not logged in. I'm not going to log in. Before we talked about it's a Raymond contract. Did we talk about that in detail? Yeah, we did, right? We said 8 years, $40 million for him. Let's pull up his numbers though, since it's going to let me do that. For Lutz the Raymond E2. Okay, my goodness, we already talked about that enough. So for E2, he gets his 8-year contract extension, average value of $5 million. I like that a lot. Key PC was 27, 11 goals, 22 assists over the 73 games with the Panthers last year. That's his 6th season with Florida, so he's going to be there for quite some time. I like it. I like that pick a lot. I like that signing a lot. Get him locked up. Nothing wrong with that, for sure. I want to bring up the other one. Now you want to play. Horse. Now let's do that. There it is. There's the Demidov deal. Now let's see if this one will let me read this one. All right, so for Demidov, he gets 8 years, 73.2. Of course, he's only 20. Led all the rookies in scoring last year with 19 goals, 62 points in 82 games. He was second in the Calder Trophy to Matthew Schaefer. We didn't even really do that this year, did we? Maybe we'll do that next week too. We'll finally talk about the NHL awards. Or else we were so busy with the season and forgot. So it's a good move for him. So basically, he's locked in through 34-35. 604 1 year was ending the last year of his 3-year deal, so that gets him away from being restricted free agent next year. So again, another solid deal for sure that we can wrap up with a nice little bow and say that we've talked about it in more detail. The other one here that we'll bring up here, what's it? Come on, there it goes. Let's talk about this one here. I did want to bring up the Mason Marchment deal. So let's bring up the details on that one that's come up here. So he gets 5 years, $35 million from San Jose, comes over from Columbus, of course. After that, so let's see here, 19 goals, 45 points in 68 games between Seattle and Columbus last year. A solid player. I like that move a lot for San Jose, actually. Gives them a lot of nice little depth. San Jose is going to be fun. A very scary team in the next few years. Maybe not next year. They should make the playoffs next year, I think, but give them a year or two, and that's gonna be a fun team to watch. Let's get the details on the Vladar deal, because we talked about that a little bit. He, of course, he's 28, 29, 17, 4, 2.42, 906, played really well in the playoffs. His record's 4-6, but he had 2.18 and a 922 save percentage. I mean, that's damn solid right there. So it was in the final year of a 2-year. Got 2 years, 6.7. So now he gets a little bit more cap. So that's always good for him. I like that for sure. So 4 and 5 for him is pretty solid for sure. And then it has the Forrester signing here. That one, 8-year, $56.8 million. Forrester's new contract with cap hit 7.1. 24-year-old, 13 goals, 4 assists over 29 games. So pretty good bump for a guy. $7 million a year for a guy who only scored 13 goals. I don't know about that. It's a lot of cash for a guy that hasn't scored that much. So, all right, let's see here. What else we have here? We got 20 minutes left here that we will be on with you live, and we'll see here. Nothing is so it's been a quiet one for sure. I was hoping for a little bit more. At least I thought that a couple of those top tier guys would maybe go. Let's do one little quick refresh. Yeah, Busty's only going to be in a 1.9 contract. Elliot Friedman reporting Matt Kessel, a 1-year, one-way deal with the Islanders at $850,000.
I saw that, but I thought it was Phil Kessel at first. I was like, he's back.
Luke Shen, who we did mention a little bit before, he's going out to Vancouver as well on a 1-year, $2.25 million deal. a solid backline D guy. He's 36, so he gets another 1 year deal, 2.25. It's an okay piece for Vancouver. It's going to be he should be a 5.6 on Vancouver. He might be a 3.4, but he probably should be a 5.6 at his age. So we'll see how that all plays out for them. I don't see that happening either. So let's see here. Pierre's quiet. Elliot, let's look over here. Yeah, Luke Shen back. That's official. 1 year, 2.25 million. And that is it right now. So yes, that's the big latest signing is Luke Shen. So yeah, that's where we're at right now here, guys. It's quiet. So but we appreciate y'all hanging in there with us and checking out. Maybe we'll get some big breaking news here at the end here. We will see here how this all plays out. But
If you say the Q word enough, will it get busy?
well, no, it will not. That's
Gonna
it.
curse.
We could do this. Hey, we're leaving. Bye. We're not going to be on the air anymore.
Oh yeah.
We're not on the air anymore.
Mhm.
So we're going to fool you by playing a commercial, so that way you think that we're going off the air, and then let's see here if that works, and maybe we'll get some big signings here afterwards. We're gonna try that here. Well, what do I want to play though? Let's do with
What's on tonight?
who's on tonight? It's Wednesday. It's nothing but net. But I don't know that I have nothing but net on here. Do I? Let's see here. That's on Apologetic Sports. That's the boss says. I don't think I do.
Oh dang.
Oh, let's give a little kudos to the original show, the WrestleManiacs. But I'm not going to do the full one because Midnight Rider always cracks up that everyone else does that one. So let's do this one. There you have it. Just a little fun, a little fun one there that we'll throw in there for our last commercial break here as we get ready to go here. So, yeah, we're a little quiet right now. That's what's going to happen on these things. But we are going to hang out on this thing until we get to 3, and then we'll see here how this
3?
2 o'clock. I'm sorry, 2 o'clock. But if we're up here till 3, I'll be in trouble. So.
I mean, I could be up here.
You
Honestly,
could be up here, but you're hungry. You said. So.
I am.
I don't know what we got down there because most of what we're making is for this coming week. So, guards game coming up
Tomorrow.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be a hot one. Not as hot as it today. Like I don't. God bless anyone that's out there today at 1 o'clock.
I took the large Guardian shirt that I had,
Uh-huh.
like one of the free ones, and I cut it so it's short now, like not like crop top, but just shorter. And then I used the rest of the fabric, and I can literally tie it around my my corso, and it literally can make a shirt.
Okay.
It's like a tube top shirt.
Tube top shirt.
Yeah, but
Yeah. You'll be in style then for tomorrow.
Well, I'm not wearing the tube top for tomorrow. Oh my god, no. But I'm not trying to do all that. But I at least have the guard shirt, and then classic. I'm still.
This is from Darren Drager again. It's Darren, so we'll see. He says
But
sounds like Werenski. Yeah, Pierre did repost it, so we'll go with that then. Sounds like Werenski, his agent Judd Moldaver, and Columbus Don Waddell spoke today in an effort to clear the air and calm things down. Werenski is comfortable going back to Columbus. Waddell could present him with a trade in the meantime, but that isn't on the radar at this point. So it sounds like for now, things have cooled back down with Werenski and Columbus, which is good for Columbus. They really can't afford to lose him, to be honest with you. So sounds like maybe that deal is not going to be imminent or happening. So good for Columbus, good for them. So there's some somewhat breaking news, at least, that Werenski isn't going anywhere. So I think the big things that we're going to have to watch for between now and Monday will be Connor Hellebuck, because I think he's going to go somewhere. I don't know why you bring in Stuart Skinner otherwise. What happens with Nikishin in Carolina? Carlson seems to have wanted to test the market, but not really hearing anything, no news out on that front yet. So yeah, the big boy, where do these big boys end up going? I guess let's do that. Let's pull up ours. This is what we'll end with, unless we get a breaking one. Let's predict here. So let's go to some prediction modes here. So let's go back here to our top one. Add these guys back on here at stage. There we go. So Anderson, it sounds like everyone thinks he's going back to Vegas, right? Do Do you think he's going to go anywhere? I can't think. I have not heard his name be linked anywhere else other than going back to Vegas. So I'll stick with that. Carlson, where does Carlson go? I think he's going to Tampa. I think Tampa's going to end up.
Rasmus Anderson already got signed, did he not?
No, it was the other one. Remember we did this before. It was Arvidsson. It was the guy in the third tier.
No, Anderson got re-signed too.
Did he?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
How come I haven't seen
I
that
saw. I don't know.
I think you're thinking of Arvidsson.
No, I'm
I'm
not.
pretty sure you are.
No, he got resigned.
Oh, all right. So there you go. 8.5?
7 years, 8.5 AAV.
Wow, that's a good deal for him.
I'm pretty. It's gotta. Well, I don't know if would re-signings be in here.
They should be, but I haven't seen them.
Maybe he's not like official, but I'm pretty sure he got re-signed.
Who's posting this?
This is Puck Report, but like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, see, that's not.
But I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I mean, but you're saying he's still going to be in Vegas, right?
Right, we are.
So, like, we're in agreement here. But,
right.
like, there is news that he's re-signing in Vegas.
Well, we'll see. What, 7, 8?
8.5.
Wow. Wow.
It's Vegas. Anything happens.
Okay. All right. So there's that one. That looks like he is going to stay, but we'll see. I've not seen a big boy. I've not seen one of the big two report it yet or come through here on TSN. So, there it is. It literally just hit. Anderson does stay in Vegas 7 years. 8.5 million. So he is, I don't know if it was really ever on the board, but he is now officially off the board at 8.5 million. He stays home in Vegas.
That means he's 29, so he'll be getting out there
36.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. So we do have one more big boy officially off the board.
The gods are hearing
to
us
stay there.
talk about
so
this.
Something. So yeah, that's a. So here, let's pull him up real quick since this one did just hit. Let's go 7 years, 50. I can't stop saying it. $8.5 million cap hit, 29.
I didn't even know they had that much space.
I didn't think so either, unless there's got to be. Well, they did make those moves, so maybe it was just to free up the money for Rasmus. So 17 goals, 47 points in 81 games last year. Between the time they were from Calgary, because came over from Calgary last year, did have 6 assists in the 22 playoff games. Played a lot of minutes there, so he's a good solid D. It's a good. I hate to say it, it's a good move for Vegas. So it's a move that makes sense for them. So he is officially off the board. So with him being off the board, so that really makes Carlson the big guy. I think he's going to Tampa. I don't know why. I think Tampa's going to give him $12 million a year, and he's just going to take it.
You think he's in it for the money?
Carolina's never. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but if somebody wants to give you $12 million a year as opposed to $8 million, what one are you going to take?
We said we were going to give him $8 million.
I think so. I think that's probably what he's going to get from us if we sign him. I think though they wanted to do a 3 or 4 year deal, $8 million a year, not do a 2 and 10 or a 2 and 12.
I think he would fit good in Tampa, but I mean he's still open to Carolina, so I would say I would at least just put it down to Carolina or Tampa.
All right, so that's her thoughts on that one. So Bobrovsky, it seems like that's got Edmonton or Toronto written all over it to me. What do you think?
Toronto.
I'm
leaning more towards Toronto.
Anders Lee, that's an interesting one for the 37-year-old winger.
I'm thinking like West.
What does Anders Lee want? Does he want to win? Or does he want one last paycheck?
Well, what were his stats? He was,
hold on here. I can pull those up here. Oops. That's not what I want this. Anders Lee was 42 points last year. But, it's 37. So, I mean, it wasn't terrible, 42 points.
I feel like he might be like a later trade. Like, after, if they say, like, you got Dylan Larkin wherever he goes, or trade, or signing Dylan Larkin wherever he goes, Klingberg. I feel like once you get those guys out of the way,
maybe
he'll probably be like one of those, probably one of those teams that weren't able to get a guy that they wanted and sign there. But, like, I'm just trying to think of a team that, like, hasn't made really much of a move that might like struggle with landing people.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
I don't know. For something like I'm screaming, like my head's kind of like giving like Minnesota vibes.
I don't know. Does Minnesota have a cap space for him? I guess it depends on what type of deal he signs.
I mean, if they were trying to go, if Dylan Larkin wants to go to Minnesota, Larkin costs way more than Lee does. So
Trouba. Where's Jacob Trouba go? Does he end up in San Jose? They could use still one or two more D. Buffalo?
I don't really like Trouba.
I don't necessarily like him either, but he's got to go. Someone's going to sign him.
See, if I don't like him, he's going to go to Florida or Vegas.
That could be. I'm surprised Anthony Mantha's still out there. He had a really good year last year in Pittsburgh. He had a 1-year prove-it deal, 31, scored 64 points.
What if he goes back to Detroit? I feel like that would be it.
For Mantha?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe he stays in Pittsburgh. He sees what they're doing now. Bunting is one of those players who's just there, 33 points. He's had, he's a solid player. I don't know where, Bunting doesn't, maybe Ottawa? Could he go back home to Ottawa?
Or Toronto.
Toronto,
Canadian team.
Another Toronto. Well, he was with Toronto before too, so who knows? Boone Jenner, I think he's a nice glue guy. 38. We only had 38 points last year.
I think he might stay in Columbus.
You do? I don't know. I think he's gone.
If Werenski's gone, then he's gone. I think.
But they're saying right now he's staying, so we'll see what happens with Boone. I kind of like Boone. I hate to say it, he could do well in Philly. That could be a piece that they could use.
I'm thinking more so like New York.
Top three, a couple of D's from here. We'll see where D's go. Freddie, I think, is going to retire. Patrick Kane's interesting because I think he wants to still play. Tarasenko, we talked about these guys, so I don't know. I think Freddie's going to retire. That's my prediction for Freddie. Where does Patrick want to go to try to win one more cup? That will be interesting. All right, so who knows? Here we go. What did I just say? According to Vic, San Jose is giving Jacob Trouba $8 million.
What?
I did say San Jose. Did I not just say San Jose?
I did not hear San Jose.
I did. You just don't listen to me. So let's see here. Let's get this here. I'm looking here. That was just from we read that already before. So let's see here. Carlson's. That's not from anyone.
I have Puck Report reporting it, but that's not official for you.
Reporting what?
The Jacob Trouba.
Trouba.
4 years, 8.25 AAV.
That's a lot of money.
AKA gotta hit the cap floor somehow.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yep, there it is.
Ah!
Well, that San Jose doesn't have that to worry about. I think it's a smart actually pick for them because it does add in a D, and they need D until the. I mean, look, they took 2 young kids, but they're going to be. That's not. I mean, I had him at 4 and 6. He's getting 4 and 8. Going to
be sneaking this season.
Yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs. That's going to be my bold prediction. So yeah, so this is definitely probably our biggest signing. Because Anderson stayed, so. This is our biggest signing on air anyway, right here for sure. So let me do this here. So 4 times 8, right? That's what we said here. So 8.25 technically. Yeah. So let's pull up here. So yeah. So now San Jose's now added Marchment, and they've added Trouba. So a couple of older guys to go in with their younger kids. That is still the Marchment deal. That is not talking about Trouba yet. Womp womp. They've not updated that story yet to do that. That's not quite fully updated yet. Let's see. Let's try that again here. Sometimes you just got to refresh it. Nope, still talking about Marchment. So yeah, but 4 years, 8 million. What did I have? I got some Trouba numbers here. He was I don't have very much. I mean, look, he came over from the Rangers, played okay with Anaheim. So it's an okay deal. I don't hate it for San Jose. I think San Jose has made some good moves so far. So San Jose and LA have made the most moves. Who do I like? I think I like San Jose's better. LA's just added guys that are old. I don't know if that necessarily makes them better. So
isn't that kind of what they did last year too, though?
A couple years, yeah. So I mean, it's probably good enough. Who knows? They should make the playoffs, but we'll see. What else we got here? Anything fun? Yeah, it's just more talk about Cernsky, which I'm not going to go to right now because it seems like, according to sources, that's quieting down a little bit. Yeah, 4 years, $8.25 million. I said, that's the good part of that. So, all right. So we got 4 minutes to go. So let's do this here. So let me go ahead here. That's not gonna work with that. Let's wrap this bad boy up here for today here, because we've been on here for 2 hours. We've talked about what we're going to be able to talk about. Whatever happens is going to happen. So real quick here, let's bring this up here. So again, down the road, we got our 2 shows, next 2 shows, and then of course we do at the big show on July 20th. That is where we're going to be talking. We're going to do a combined show with Pretenders and Contenders. That's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. 4 officials, 4 coaches on there from different sports. This is going to be youth coaches, youth officials, talking about how we need to build better rapport with each other. And then also dealing with some of the unruly parents, and then really ultimately the decline in numbers for officials that's still going on in all sports, and it's gonna have to be addressed because look, I just signed up for my next season, but I'm 54 years old. It's getting harder and harder for me out there. So we need young blood in a lot of these games because there's a lot of these sports have people like me that are just getting ready to to call it a day. So we'll see what happens there for sure. What are you doing?
Vic says Bob to Toronto.
Bob to Toronto, huh? So that show is going to be on the 20th, and on the 27th, our team's pricing fans out. So that's a few shows here. We will check the Bob to Toronto news here out in a second here. But let me go ahead here and bring this up here real quick, just that way I can get my plugs in for today. So let's see, it's Wednesday today, right? Today, Wednesday? Right? Wednesday?
Yes.
First, yes. So we should have nothing but net today. Now, of course, it is free agency in the NBA too. I am sure the guys will have some of the NBA free agency news here. I know I've seen a few of them put in our chat of some signings, so they'll go over that. The Thursday night throwdown, of course, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Then Saturday, you have the WrestleManiacs, who we did a little love for them. The Sunday Rise at 11. And then we will be back next Monday at our regular time as well. So there is some of that for sure. So let's go ahead here real quick here and see if we got anything here. Bob to Toronto makes it easy for him to be dead to me. So Paul's not gonna. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one here. So let's see here. Save this because we don't need this up anymore. Let's see here before we say bye-bye if we have anything officially on that one here. Nothing there yet. Let's see if Elliot or anyone else is reporting on Bob. Elliot Freeman does say, I do believe the Sergei Bobrovsky Toronto arrival is upon us. Lane Peterson signing a 2-way deal with LA. Though, for everyone knows, a 2-way deal means that it's a minor league contract, but then they've also played in the NHL, so they get 2 different salaries. One if they're on their American Hockey League team, one if they're on the NHL roster. That's not really that big of a deal. So that's it. So right now it's just reports. But it is from Pierre. So it sounds like that will be the big goalie move will be Bob going to Toronto. I can't wait to see what that salary is that he gets, but it is not officially official yet. So nice way to be on live TV and do that.
I've been doing it
I know
more.
What can I say? It's my daughter for you. All right. So anyway, so that's it. So I think we're gonna probably call it a show here. So some bigger ones there at the end. We'll see what happens here over the
I said
next
Bob
few
to
hours.
Toronto.
You did. So I mean, that was one too. Which again means this: what the hell is Edmonton doing in goal? Like, who is going to play goal for the Edmonton Oilers?
They're about to have tryout auditions.
Who that? I just don't. I don't know what they do. It seems like.
Wait. Can we look at it one more time? What goalies are?
What goalies are on the roster right now?
Well, no, what goalies are? Well,
you got. I mean, no one really.
Freddie. But would Freddie go to Edmonton?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Freddie's going anywhere, to be honest with you. Before we had that discussion, I mean, there's really no big. Let's see here. This will be a fun story to end with. Let's officially look at the roster of who is the current rostered goalies for the Edmonton Oilers. I will get us there because I know I shouldn't. It's Cal. No, it wasn't Talbot. Who the hell was?
It was the guy they got from Pittsburgh.
Oh, yes. I can't think of his name now because then he didn't even play in the playoffs for them. They played the one kid.
I pull it up before you, I swear.
Right here. Tristan Jarry. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the only one. The other guy was a free agent. So right now they have Tristan Jarry is their only goalie in Edmonton. Good luck with that. All right, so there you have it. Sarah, anything else?
No.
Nope. I got nothing else either. Well, thanks for joining us. Lots of good comments there. Anthony, appreciate you. Vic, Scooter, and Jeff, appreciate you guys in our little chat that we have off, but they didn't put their comments in here, but I read them to you guys as we had. So yeah, so there's a few breaking news. We'll see what happens. We thank you guys. I mean, this says we had 144 people watch on X. I don't know if I believe that or not, but if so, if this is your first time watching, we thank you for watching. Please join us. The Sideline Junkies have lots of great shows out there for you. So, keep joining in if so. Right? Anything else? All right. Well, then with that, I say tell your loved ones that you love them and hug them because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Hopefully, though, you'll be with us next Monday and be with Nothing But Net later tonight. And until then, everyone, bye-bye. See you later.